All right, this last unit is all about marketing. So marketing is the action or business of promoting or selling products or service, including our market research and our advertising. And we're going to focus kind of today on market research, but we will look at advertising as well. So market research provides information to create business plans, to solve problems, and make decisions about products. It's used by almost every company and organization. So whether that's about improving an old product, about testing a new product, about kind of what products will sell in the market, or even, from the things like sending you discounts in the mail based on your buying habits, that's all of that. In particular, when you develop a new product, you will want to know how likely it is to sell. You may conduct a product test. This is when you allow people to try your product, generally for free, and these people will try the product and respond to questions and an opinion survey. So we're going to look at kind of this table of values that goes over an opinion survey, and here are some of our formulas we're going to use today. We're going to look at percents and kind of this error. So in this case, we've got Countryside Cereal conducted an opinion survey of 2,600 people for its new Good Morning cereal. This table shows the responses of those 2,600 people surveyed. Start by filling in the blanks. So first, let's talk about reading it. The opinions are these excellent, good, fair, and poor, right? Those are the opinions people had about the cereal. And if we go across, this is going to be the total for everyone who thought it was excellent. So what we would do here in that total box is we're going to add the 200, the 430, and the 1,450. So we get a total of 2,080. The good total is already done for you. For this fair one, go across, we're adding 10 plus 12 plus 99, and we get 121. If we look down, we got the under 18, 18 to 40, and over 40. These are the columns of the age groups. So in this total box, we're going to add everything in that column. So we get a total of 240. This overall total is going to be 2,600, the amount of people we asked. And you could get that by either adding the row or the column total together. So now let's go ahead and look at what they're asking it for. It says they operate on a standard of 80% or higher. The responses must be excellent, or the product will be halted. What percent of total responses rated the cereal excellent? So if we want to look at excellent, we had 2,080. So that's the number of particular response, if you look at the formulas on the top, divided by the total number of responses of 2,600. So when we divide those two, we get 0.80, which if you want to think about that as a percent, that is 80% of the people think the cereal is excellent. So in that case, what should Countryside do? They should halt production and revise. I'm going to just say revise the cereal. So maybe that means they change something about it so more people think it's excellent. Maybe they decide just to kind of do all away with it. Okay, let's look at the next group. Which age group has the highest percent of consumers? So if we look at the age groups, we're looking at the columns, right? In this case, under 18 has just 240, 18 to 40 has 560, and over 40 has 1,800. So if we just look at these numbers up here, you can kind of just tell from that there's the most in the age group of over 40. As for the percent, you would take the 1,800 people, that particular response, divided by the total number of people, and we get 0.692. Move it 2 to the right, and we get 69.2%. Okay, so then in this case, why would this be important to you? I think in particular this is important to you because if you're the one who's kind of marketing, etc., this is who the people who buy your cereal the most are. So these are the people you'd want to target. this is the group you'd want to market to. Okay, let's look at the next one. Countryside Cereal has predicted that in the under 18 group, 220 would respond excellent. Determine the absolute and then the relative error. So for the absolute error, the formula is we take the prediction, which was 220, and we subtract the actual. So if you go to under 18 and excellent, we're looking at 200 people. So your absolute error is 20, meaning, hey, there's really a difference of 20 from what we expected and we actually got. For the relative error, in this case, it's the absolute error, which was 20, over the actual response. So our actual response in this case was 200 people. So we get 0.1 or 10. Think about moving the decimal 2 to the right. We get 10%. So the reason why we do the relative error, the absolute error is helpful because we just want to know how far we're off with our predictions. The reason the relative error is helpful is because we want to recognize, how much of this was our error. If you get something like your relative error is 50%, you made it kind of drastically different. However, if you get a relative error of like 5%, that's not as big of a deal, but it all depends on kind of how big the total was, rather than just like having 20 in this case, maybe different if you had 20 out of 2,000 in another case. Okay, the last one here says what percent of the 18 to 40 think the cereal is poor or fair compared to the total number of responses. Okay, so in this case, we are just looking at the people that are 18 to 40, and we want to look at if they think it was fair or poor. So we're just looking at those two boxes in red. So there was 12 people who thought it was fair, and there's 10 people in that age group that thought it was poor. So in that case, you can think about that as being a total of 22 people. But 22 out of the total number of responses out of 2,600. Divide that and you get 0.008. Move the decimal to the right and you get 0.8%. All right, good luck with the assignment.